What's up? Hello, everyone.
Piano.
Happy piano. What she said. Happy piano, everyone.
We're to a very strong start.
Super strong.
Oh my goodness. Whoa, just spilled my coffee.
That's not good.
This is tragic.
That's not a good start, Lisa.
Speaking of coffee, do you know what I rediscovered and fell madly in love with this weekend?
What's that?
Might have been last weekend. It's been going on for a while now.
What'd you fall in love with?
Shortbread cookies.
Shortbread cookies.
Shortbread, the ones that are made mostly with butter.
Yeah.
And they have the little dots on the top.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, those
Obsessed.
are tasty.
Obsessed.
So, are you more of a I already know the answer to this.
Sweet.
You're more of a sweets person than a salt.
Yeah.
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 See, I'm more of the salty, snacky guy. Yeah.
Would you ever put chocolate chips in your popcorn?
Chocolate chips. I put M&Ms in my popcorn before, and I think
we're good.
I think that's a great combo.
It's one of the best.
And I made a mistake. I bought some. I didn't know what kind it was, and they had caramel inside. And it's in a blue bag, and it just changed my life. And so if you ever want to experiment with some popcorn and candy, throw some caramel M&Ms in your popcorn, and you won't regret it.
Now that we've solved all of your life problems, we can all go home. Just joking. We have things to learn today. Many of them. Okay, so what's new in the world of Pianote, Kevin?
What's new? There's lots new. Well, first off, oh, look at that. Emails. Beautiful.
So professional.
If you have any questions, feel free to email
Kevin.
us at kevin@pianote.com or lisa@pianote.com.
I would love an email. I love hearing from you guys.
Beautiful. Yeah, so in the world of piano, Lisa, how long do you think the world's largest piano is? What do you think?
Is 7 feet an average?
So baby grand can be anywhere from 4 to 6 feet, and a concert grand is typically 9 feet. So what do you think a 9-foot concert grand is that's long, that's a concert grand.
That's a piano.
But keep in mind, the strings have to be as long as the piano, so it can't be crazy. It's not 100 feet. Any guesses? What do you guys think? I see
14.
15 feet, 13 feet, 700 feet, says Travis.
Travis, go home.
Go home, Travis.
Go home, Travis.
18 feet is, so far, 18 feet is the closest.
No.
It's something like 18.9. It's essentially 19 feet long. Isn't that crazy?
No,
we have a video showing just a little bit with that one, but
Oh my gosh.
But
okay.
In the meantime, we do have a new video that dropped today.
Yes.
You want to talk about it? It's your video.
I do want to talk about it. There's so many things I don't talk about, but now I'm curious. Okay, so we're gonna get the video of the world's longest piano ready. But in the meantime, I just did a lesson called 4 Piano Songs for Beginners. Now, if you're a Pianote member, you're like, yes, Lisa, this is a lesson that you teach. But we got crazy in this lesson. Afterward, when I was watching, I was like, Lisa, you really just were all over the map here, but it's brilliant. It's pure brilliance. I was all over the map for a reason. And the reason that I'm excited about this is because we actually did a segment for a couple of the songs near the end where we use the backing track and then we play along with it. So for that reason, I'm extra level excited. So let's show you a clip of this. We'll check out, just so you guys have an idea of what you can go play around with inside piano. Are we ready with our little riff here? D. B minor's next. E. And then A. D. And you can carry on that way. Okay, so now that we know, look how fun that was.
4 easy songs.
It just released to Pianote members an hour ago.
Yeah, it's brand new. Brand new content.
So definitely check it out if you're a Pianote member. If you're not a Pianote member, Truman, can you put the thing in the chat so people can just come for free and check it out? Do we have a trial link?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to put a trial in there, so now you can go check that out.
Yes, Allison says backing tracks are cool.
They're
yes,
so cool.
They're the coolest. I love playing with backing tracks, especially if you can, like, I look for studio acapellas on YouTube and stuff like that sometimes
you?
too. And I just kind of play along with just like the vocalist. So it's like, what would it sound like if I played with like Ariana Grande and I can like reharm her voice because it's just a melody, so I can kind of choose the chords. It's kind of nice.
I shake my head at you, Kevin.
Shake
I
my-
shake my head at you. Jeez Louise.
That's what I do for fun.
In your free time.
In my free time.
Okay, we've got the video.
Yeah, I think we got the video now. So
We've got the
this
video.
is again, if you just tuned in, the longest piano in the world, and there's footage of. It's called the Alexander piano, and I think that's the guy who created it. His last name was Alexander, but it is the longest bass strings ever created. Because you think about like the grand piano. I don't know if you know this, Lisa, but like as the strings get higher, the strings get shorter just because of the distance.
Yes.
So the lower it goes on the piano, they have to be like 19 feet long strings, so that when you hit it, they're going, they're moving.
It's gotta be a
So-
louder piano than normal pianos.
Oh, it is very loud. It is like an impressive amount of volume. The thing is, if you're not wearing headphones, you might not be able to hear like the bass and like the pure tone out of this.
Okay.
But if you are wearing headphones or you have headphones nearby, I'll give you 10, 15 seconds to go get them so you can put them on and just take a listen to what this piano sounds like, because it is truly, truly incredible. And like Bach, when he was alive, he famously preferred to play like the harpsichord and stuff like that rather than the pianoforte, which is what we know as the piano today. He didn't like the new technology. He's like, I don't know about that stuff. But
That Bach.
I feel like if he would have seen this piano, he definitely
It would have won him over?
this one
Think
would
it
have won him over.
over?
Just the amount of volume you can get out of this thing. But anyways, let's show you the clip of the 19-foot world's longest piano.
What?
That is a long piano.
That's crazy. Is that necessary? Do you think that that's actually like a better sound experience?
It's like, Lamborghinis aren't necessary, but they're
think they're
super
kind of-
cool.
No, I don't
You
really
think
like
so?
them. No.
Okay, what about like limos? Like, are limos cool? They're super
They're
long.
okay. I like a Porsche.
A Porsche, okay. You like the little car. You like the little ones.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Yeah, I mean Porsches, they're super cool, but like limos are also super cool. It's super long, and it's not necessary. It's
Can
not
fit more people
necessary
in
at all.
there, I
Yes,
guess.
better for the environment than your Porsche.
Better for the environment. Okay, here's the maybe. Here's the other question that I have is that a very expensive piano then?
It's
I want to know how much that cost to make.
I have no. Well, let's make one and find out.
No.
Let's make a
ideally not.
20-foot long piano. Let's beat those guys.
We'll Let's get them.
And let's make it a Pianote piano.
Okay, does anybody here have extra $1 million? Because here's the thing. When we, speaking of beautiful pianos, when we were touring Manuel's store
Yes.
and we were playing the Faziolis, I was like, jokingly, I was like, hey man, like, I would like, he's like, we can make an anything piano, an air piano, a butterfly piano. I'm like, what about a unicorn piano? And he's like, absolutely, we can make you a unicorn piano. And I was like, what, are you joking? He's like, all you need is $1 million.
Yeah, I played a piano this weekend. I was at a piano festival playing a Fazioli, handmade in Italy. And if you look this up on Google, if you open up another tab, look up the butterfly piano.
I played it in a quick
Vancouver. If you type in the butterfly Fazioli spelled Fazioli. Did I spell that right?
I don't know. Something like that.
Or Z. It is the most gorgeous white piano I've ever played on, and it cost $750,000. It was $750,000.
It's crazy.
For a piano.
Yeah.
I can't even. You know what? I'm gonna say something that is probably like I probably shouldn't say, but like
I know what you're gonna say.
it wasn't my favorite.
No,
to play
it's not the best. It's not the best one.
I was so excited to play on a piano that's almost worth $1 million, thinking this is gonna change my life. And honestly, if you'd put that, I mean, it looks spectacular.
It's a piece of art, actually.
It is. It is a piece of. It's a work of art. But I would. Manuel, I hope you're not watching this.
Yeah, hopefully he's not watching.
But I think I prefer Steinway. And Faziolis, they're more expensive.
What just happened? Kevin!
I know, but I mean, blasphemy, says Tim. I don't know, and they're not cheap. Steinways are not cheap.
No, but they're less than a Fazioli.
They're less. They're supposed to be like less. Like Fazioli is luxury pianos.
Ugh.
And if you've never heard of them, you can check them out. Like they make some of the most beautiful pianos I've ever seen. Some look like spaceships. They have floating pianos.
Yeah.
In terms of art, above and beyond.
Oh yeah.
Fazioli.
Yep.
But I don't know, the sound of the piano, like they do sound great still.
The middle-sized one.
Yeah, you like the middle size.
The one in the middle, not the like apartment one, not the
Right.
concert one. The one in the middle.
Like
that was my
like
favorite.
a 6 foot grand.
But it didn't look like a butterfly. It was
No,
just
it just looked
normal.
like they sell like just regular pianos too. But those start at like $250,000, like only. It can be yours for $250,000.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we're gonna need a GoFundMe to get a Fazioli in here.
We have to do a whole topic one of these days on different kinds of pianos.
Yes, there's Bosendorfer, there's Stein.
I like the Bechstein.
Bechstein.
Is it Bechstein?
I think it's Bechstein.
Bechstein? That was actually my favorite, I think, when I was in there. I kept going back to it.
Yeah, it's a really good German piano.
Lee, it was the butterfly piano, the same one that Kevin played when he did his show on the weekend. And I loved it for the sake of what it was, but I would not have purchased that piano. If I had like this many dollars, I would have picked a different one.
Me too. Me too. It was beautiful to play. I was playing a jazz show this weekend at a festival, but I don't know that I would purchase that if I had that kind of money.
We have solved some more problems
go.
for you all today. Best cookies, get just the shortbread ones, and also don't buy the butterfly piano.
All right.
So there you go. See, Travis, yes, there we go. Okay, we have some really cool stuff to learn today.
Yes.
I'm actually thrilled about this. You know why I'm thrilled about this?
Why
Other than that I get to use the iPad again. And this time the writing part works. I am thrilled about this because we're talking about the 2-5-1 progression.
Yes.
And I only learned this in recent years. As a classically trained learner, I thought jazz was completely out of reach. And the 2-5-1 kind of like opened up. It made me feel like I could do the jazz.
Do the jazz, exactly. I mean, hopefully by the end of this, every single person watching can play their first jazz standard.
No.
That is the hope.
That's a big...
If you're watching this right now and you follow our steps and you listen to what we're saying, you will be able to play Autumn Leaves.
What? I don't believe you.
Well, if you're on the Pianote member site, you do have the resources download that you can download the sheet music. Oh,
it's not working, Chris. I can't connect to the thing.
Trying to hit the iPad.
The technology.
Do you want me to pass it to Chris?
Yeah.
All right, Chris, work your magic.
There's a whole bunch of planets in retrograde. We're gonna blame it on the planets. There's like 6 of them.
Really?
All going the wrong way.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I'm telling you now. It's why everything's going wrong.
Oh,
How did you fix that so fast?
That's why we have
The planets are strong
people
with
who
that
are smarter
one.
than us to do that kind of stuff.
Thank God. Okay, so you're telling us we can play Autumn Leaves?
Yes, but first, before we even jump into that stuff, we're going to talk about the most popular jazz progression, which, as Lisa mentioned
already
earlier,
told them.
you already told them, it is the 2-5-1 progression. So what is a 2-5-1? That's a loaded question, Lisa.
Let me
it.
explain. If you know your scale, you can play the 2-5-1.
Yes.
Which key are we doing today?
We're going to do the key of E minor, but start with G.
Okay.
Let's stay with G for now.
Wait, we can?
Well, just to explain the 2-5-1 at least.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so you take the G scale. Let's play the G scale.
Okay.
We have these ingredients. 1, 2.
Or I'll wait till we got an overhead view so people can see what I'm doing.
Okay,
All
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay. So we take the 2 and we play a chord on it.
And so what chord we play is very important here. So the 2 chord is actually going to be a minor chord. But we're going to take it a step further. We're going to make it a minor 7. So if you know your diatonic chords, the second degree makes A minor. And the reason why that is if I take A and I split it up into thirds, which is what chords are made out of, and I add another third on top, it's going to make a minor 7 chord. So the 2 chord will always be a minor 7 when we're going to a major chord as our target number 1. But I'll explain what that means after. So A
2.
minor 7 is our 2 chord. All right, Lisa, so what is going to be our 5 chord?
Now we have to walk up 5 steps from the first note of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to build a triad on D. And then we will add a 7 in a second. Okay.
All right, so now this chord is D dominant 7. So we have A minor 7, and now we have D dominant 7. And so the reason again, if I go up in thirds using the notes only from the G scale, that would give me a dominant chord.
Right, because a D chord in the key of D, you would have a C sharp because D has 2
Yes.
sharps. But because we're in the key of G, if we're sticking with diatonic rules, the rules belonging to the key, that C is a natural, and that's what gives us that sort of like more bluesier sound-ish.
You got it. And the dominant chord, a 5 chord, is the best way to resolve to a 1 chord.
Oh, and back to 1.
It is such a strong resolution. But instead of just doing a G major chord here, or right here, we're going to do a G major 7. So we're just going to add another third above.
Did you know major 7's my favorite?
Is it?
It's my favorite 7th.
Do you have a favorite chord just like in general?
No.
You don't have one.
No.
For me, for whatever reason, ever since my first week of learning piano, I decided what my favorite chord was. It's an F major 7. That's it.
That's so bizarre.
It's so simple. It spells the word face. And it just
wow.
it's because one of my first songs I learned, it just started with that chord. I played it so much. It's just
It's so bright. It's so cheerful.
It's very bright. I don't know, and leads so nicely to so many different areas. Anyways, there's my favorite chord.
I love it.
Let's get back to the 2-5-1.
2-5-1.
Okay, so we have A minor 7. We have D7 and G major 7. So now, instead of having to jump all over the piano like this, let's try and do an inversion. So we have A minor 7 here.
This means we're gonna play the notes in a different order than their like regular root positions.
You got it. So instead of having to go all the way over here, I have to think, are there any notes in common with this and this? Which there are. So the A and C are also in D7. So I can keep those the same. And now I just need to move my E down to D and my G down to F sharp. And that gives me a second inversion D dominant 7 chord. And from here, I can keep these two the same. I just have to move my first 2 fingers down to G and B. And that gave me a 2-5-1 progression that sounds like this. In my left hand, I'm just hitting the bass notes. A,
Sunday morning rain is falling.
That's it. That's the whole song.
You've probably heard that at some point in your life. Unforgettable, you twist to fit the mold that I am in. Oh, that's low.
Yeah, that's not the key they do it in.
That's C
But that's a 2-5-1.
Ah.
So jazz is chock full of 2-5-1s. And so you might have heard of a 2-5-1, but that's a 2-5-1 that goes to a major chord. And what I mean by that is that the 1 is G major. So that's our target, and that's very important to know, because if we have a target note of a minor chord, then things change.
Wait. Okay, I'm not tracking yet.
Okay.
So 2-5-1 in the majors.
Yes.
In the land of major.
You got it.
We're targeting the 1?
We're targeting the 1 every time. It's just what is our 1 chord. So right now.
Okay.
You kind of following me?
So if you're like just bopping along through a chord progression, you could be anywhere.
You could be anywhere.
And you have a 1 coming up.
Yeah.
You could just throw a 2-5 in there to help you get there.
You got it.
And that just makes it jazzier.
You got it.
So can you apply that, please, to like the context of like a pop song?
I absolutely can.
So that I can, so in the major.
Yep.
So we can all see this.
In the major. So what's a name of pop song?
Lee's favorite song is Let It Be.
Let It Be. Okay, so there's the original song. So there's 1-2-5-1, but I'll add a fancier one.
What?
Did you see that? That was really quick. If you blink, you miss it.
What?
I did 2-5-1.
You took one from a different key, didn't you?
I jumped outside the key of C with a 2-5-1, because that's what you can do with these. So I knew my target chord that I was gonna go to was F. So I quickly went into the key of F and did a 2-5-1, because I have them all memorized at this point. So I've done these exercises, which I'm gonna show you how to do at the end. But I went from G minor 7 to C7 to F major 7, and it sounds like this. If I just play the chords.
What?
Oh, so I think I messed up.
That sounded pretty. What?
It was really quick.
2, 5, 1. So what the heck? Are you guys tracking with this? This is crazy to me.
So you can add them pretty much anywhere is the thing.
So the easiest place, sorry, I'm still here on the majors.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the easiest place to put these would be where you know you're heading to just a normal 1 in the key that you're in.
You got it.
So you're just cruising along through whatever chord progression. You're like, oh, coming up is the 1. So I could quickly just dash to the 2, the 5, and then land on the 1.
You got it.
Or
you
could just pick another chord in your song, any one that's not the 1, and be like, I'm gonna be crazy here, and I'm gonna make this the new 1. I'm gonna play the 2 and the 5 of this the new 1, and then land there, and then keep going.
Yeah, it can get convoluted. So let's take an easier song like Happy Birthday. I've done this. This is a popular example.
Kevin, Happy Birthday is not an easy song.
Well, C, G, and F.
Okay, fine.
C, G, and F. We'll do it in the key of C. Easy chords to play. So if you have a simple song, and I love to do this with easier songs, so I love to take Christmas songs and add these 2-5-1s everywhere.
Funny you should mention Christmas songs,
and it's because Christmas songs traditionally, they can be pretty simple, but you can really add a lot of harmony in there, especially you can make a Christmas song into like 100 different levels by adding these 2-5-1s and how many you want to add. So if I took a simple song like Happy Birthday, which just has 3 chords, C, G, and F. So I can do, right now, let's do 2-5-1 in the key of C, and a 2-5-1 to the F chord as well.
So
let's dissect this.
Okay.
You ready?
No.
Okay, so let's quickly figure out what our 2-5-1s are. So in the key of C major, people might already know in the chat what the 2-5-1 progression will be, but
it's the 2-5-1 of C, guys. 2-5-1 of C.
So what do the chords have to be? If C chord is my 1, that means 2 is going to be D something, then G something, and then C something.
Nice.
And if you remember the formula, it's 2 minor 7 to the 5-7, which is dominant. For Rose, you got it, man. To the C or C major 7 if you want. So if you see D minor, G7, C major 7, there's your 2-5-1.
So pretty.
So let's do it in the key, going to the key of F now for a second.
Okay.
So what would that look like?
So F is our new 1, meaning we need the second note, which is
got
going to
it.
be G minor, because the second degree of the scale is a minor.
You got it. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
C's are 5,
Math.
so then we do C dominant 7, and we can go to an F chord, or F major 7 if you want.
This is so cool.
And this is gonna make your playing sound really, really fancy. So if I go C chord, let's do a 2, 5, 1 here. Let's go to D minor, then G7, then C.
What?
So typically the song is. So I knew there was a C chord, right? So instead of doing just G the second time, I did a D minor, G, C.
It took you to the C.
It took me to the C. The next chord goes from C chord down to F. So instead of doing C to F, let's add the 2, 5, 1 here. And it sounds a lot jazzier, right? There's C7. And if I want to end it, I could do D minor 7 again. To G7.
And this is how you get that really drawn out extended intro, gives you time.
And then C major 7, I can just kind of end on
Oh my
that really
gosh,
fancy
this is a
version.
beautiful chord.
And you can do that on any song that has C, G, and F. And there's so many songs that are just C, G, and F. So that's how you do it. 2, 5, 1s going to a major chord. And that's what pretty much everyone explains when they're talking about 2, 5, 1s. But something that never ever gets explained is how to go to a minor chord.
Hold on. I know we're excited for Minor Town, but I just need to let everybody else in the chat know that, like, I understand this now from like on a level, but I will have to go practice this. So if you're feeling like, what? Rewatch, apply.
I'll show you how to practice it at the very end during our
Okay.
chord progression of the week.
Okay, I think I'm ready for minor 2, 5, 1s. I think.
Okay, so the only difference now is instead of going to a major chord, we are going to be going to a minor chord.
So the destination.
The destination chord,
end
our one
point.
chord. Our one chord is no longer major.
Why?
So, well, if a song is in the minor key. So, for example, Autumn Leaves is not a major song. It's in the key of E minor. So, if you need to do a 2, 5, 1 in a minor key, it sounds a little bit different.
Wait a second. But it's not. Is this hold on, nobody look. Is this the 2, 5, 1 in the minor?
That's the one.
I'm smart.
You figured it out just by looking at it. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Quiet.
let's do it in the key of E minor. That's our new target. So now I have to think about this from the minor scale perspective. So Lisa, in E minor, how many sharps are there for E natural minor?
Just the one.
Just the one.
Because E is related to G major.
Yes, G major shares the same notes as E minor.
This is a brain adventure today.
Yes, so E minor. So now, what do my 2, 5, 1 notes have to be? Just figure that part out. It's the same thing. What is the second
F-sharp.
note? F sharp. And then what would the 5
B.
be?
E.
You got it. So you just have to know that. 2, 5, 1. So here is the important bit. If you have a pencil, write this down. A major 2, 5, 1 is going to go 2 minor 7, 5 dominant 7 to 1 major 7. Let me show you what that sounds like.
Are we supposed to memorize this,
2
Kevin?
minor 7, 5 dominant 7, 1 major 7. Now, let's say we're going to C minor. Let me show you what happens here. The 2 stays the same. It's still D, but instead of a minor 7 chord up here, you're going to do a chord called D minor 7, flat 5.
Sorry, why?
So, this is the chord that leads to a minor key. You can also call this chord half diminished. They're the same thing. A minor 7 flat 5 and a half diminished chord are the same thing. So,
Okay. Why do we have to use that one? Why can't we just use a normal?
it doesn't sound as good. And because in the key of C minor, There's no A natural note, so it has to be
E
A flat.
minor right now.
Oh, right. Well, I went to C minor, just to show that little example. I said, everyone write this down in the key of C. D minor, G7, C major 7.
Okay.
And now it's going to sound like this. I'm going to play it quick and then I'll explain. D minor, 7 flat 5, G7, C minor 7. Okay, but let me break down what I just did.
I hear crickets. I feel crickets.
Okay, the 2 is now, instead of a minor 7, 2 minor 7, flat 5. The G is G7. It stays the same. But now our 1 chord, instead of going to C major 7 like we did before, we're going to go to a C minor 7. And that is our new target note. That was the chord I was aiming for.
Okay, so backing up, this applies when we're trying to add a 2-5-1 into a minor progression.
Yeah, we're making a minor progression. We're making a 2-5-1 minor progression.
Okay. And so if you wanted to think about this without the sevenths, you could, technically.
You could make it, then it would turn into, if I did it in the key of C again, it'd be D diminished to G chord to C minor.
And the diminished thing on the D is just because, it's like a just because thing.
No, it's not. It has to go up by thirds. So, if you think about how like a D minor chord is constructed
Yeah.
in the key of C, it's all white notes, right?
Yeah.
But in the key of C minor, I have a black note, right?
Oh, it keeps us in diatonic now.
It keeps us in diatonic chord land.
Oh, well,
so if you watch,
say it like that.
if we watched it, our last piano bench,
I was there.
we talked about the diatonic minor
Clearly I
chords.
wasn't listening.
So if you make a diatonic minor 7, it has to be a D minor 7 flat 5. But that's good. These are good questions to ask. These are very good questions to ask. Then you go to G7. You can also, one I really like to do, if you just take that C and bring it down 1, Elise, do you have any idea what this chord would be called?
It's a diminished chord.
It is a diminished chord, but with the G on the bass, it makes something else. So watch this. We have the G, which is the root. We have the D, which is the 5th. The F, which is the flat 7, which makes it dominant. We have a B, which is the 3rd. So if I took away this one, that's G7, right? But this A flat gives it a really nice color. And that makes it a G7 with a flatted 9th.
Okay.
And all I did was go from here, D minor 7 flat 5, and this C note came down 1 semitone. And then you go to C minor.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
It sounded really cool, but I think we're losing. We've lost some of our friends here. So here's what we're gonna do. Then this is what I do anytime that I start to feel like, is we're gonna apply this to the song.
Yes.
And then once we see how this works in the context of a song, I think it'll make a little more sense.
It'll start to make a little bit more sense. Okay, so let's switch to the iPad here.
Let's switch to the iPad.
Let's show you what this can look like in
Jeez Louise.
context.
Okay, so
So right off the bat here, look at the first 3 chords. Can you circle the first 3 chords as a whole?
Yes. Hold on though. Before we
Okay.
even do that, I just want to identify we have 1 sharp.
Yes.
We are in the key of E minor.
We're in E minor for this song.
All right. Now, can you just play the first line so we can hear it?
For sure.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my
This
music.
is important. Beautiful. Okay. So at the beginning,
We start off with an A minor 7.
and this is like a little treasure hunt, friends.
It is. There's a puzzle here. So, do you notice that it went from a minor 7 to a dominant 7 and then a major 7? Did you connect those dots? So, that, my friends, is a 2-5-1 going to G major. Because in the key of G major, A is the 2nd, D is the 5, and G is the 1. So,
Can you do an overhead of the hands?
yeah, let me show you. So, how we figured that out, let's just do our G pentascale. 5 notes.
Yeah.
So I know that A is the 2, D is the 5, and G is the 1. And If you're catching on to this, this is jazz. This is pretty advanced stuff. So, A, we said it has to be a minor 7 chord to be the 2 chord. The 5 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is going to be dominant 7. And the 1 chord is going to be G major 7. And if you look at the sheet music one more time, let's go back to the iPad if we can. We went from an A minor 7 to D7 to G major 7. So right there, you have now spotted a 2-5-1.
Which is really exciting. And I think like the 7's, one thing to keep in mind, it's like, it's important information. And when you look back at the scale and you just remember the ingredients, and this is why there's just like so many steps to making this make sense, but if you just play a G, like G major scale, because when we look at this 2-5-1, G tells us the key that it's based off of. So that's giving you the rules. So if you just build your stack of thirds, going back to root position chords, using the ingredients of the scale, all white keys except F, if you don't want more root position, it just automatically puts you into the right placement. So the 2 being A minor, make a stack of thirds. It makes sense. It's all white keys. Playing the 5, again, using the ingredients, we have F is the only black key in this one, so it just automatically becomes the chord it needs to be if we're following these rules of the key signature. And then the 1, when you make that, again, stack of thirds, play a note, skip a note, play a note, skip a note, it puts you into a major 7, and that all works perfectly. Yes.
All right, let's go back to the iPad here. So we've done those first 3 chords. The next one, we just have a nice C major chord. We land on C for a moment, and then something happens in the next line.
Bum, bum, bum. Okay, friends.
Okay.
So what kind of like helps me know that there's a 2-5-1 on the horizon is when I see a note that is like alphabetically close. So like look at F sharp and E. I'm like, okay. So let's do these different color. We got an F sharp with a B7 in the middle and then an E minor. So if we look at the E minor, we could be like, oh, well, E minor has in the key signature, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and E. So F sharp is the 2nd note of the E minor scale. There's a 2. B is the 5th note of the E minor scale, and therefore E minor becomes the 1.
Exactly. If you can identify those, if you can look at this piece of sheet music and see, oh, there's a 2-5-1. For example, can you just scroll up for a second? Can anyone else find these patterns anywhere else in this sheet music? Just by looking. So just take a glance. Do you see another 2-5-1 somewhere? So there's like another A minor, D7, G major 7 right at the top, right?
Yeah.
You go to the next line. There's another 2-5-1, but it's going F sharp, B to E. The next line after that, F sharp, B, E again. The next line after that, A, D, G. They're all 2-5-1s. And believe it or not, this is what all jazz standards are made up of. If you want to get good at jazz, you have to get good at the 2-5-1. There's no ifs, whats, or buts about it. It's just, that is like the holy grail of chord progressions for jazz.
I really love what Joy said, Allison rather. Allison said, pick a chord, then pretend that chord is the 1 chord.
Yes.
And then find the 2, the 5 of that chord, and then play it all together. So let's play a little game. A is our 1 chord.
Yes.
So what's the 2 of A, friends?
Oh. 2 of A. Sorry, I'll start from the beginning here.
There's A.
So our 2 is B.
Yep.
Our 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, will be E.
Yep.
And our 1 will be A.
Son of a sandwich has got it.
So the chords have to be 2 minor, 5 dominant, 1 major. So we have 1 of each. We have a minor 7 chord. We have a dominant chord, E7, this is called. There's the root position. And then A major 7. And that's going to a major chord. So if we need to go to minor chord, say our target chord was A minor, it's still the same B, E, and A, but now the formula, and this is really important, goes from minor 7, flat 5. So B, D, F, and A. And you still go to that same E7 chord, but now you just land on A minor 7.
Because the ingredients are now based off a different
Because now we're in the key of A minor, because that's our new chord we're going to. So in fact, when you're doing 2-5-1s, and you add a 2-5-1 somewhere in the song, you actually travel outside the key sometimes, momentarily. Like when we did it in Happy Birthday, going to the F chord, G minor has a B flat. B flat is not in the key of C. So that's why it kind of expands your ear outside of diatonic land. And it gives you these colors that you otherwise would have never heard by traveling outside the key momentarily, and then you come right back in. So let's go to Autumn Leaves for a second. Let's learn how to play all these chords.
And if all you walk out of this with is an ear or a mind or an ear or eyes that go, oh, that could be a 2-5-1, and just start to ask questions, you're winning.
You're winning. Okay,
you are
so
winning.
Let's go from the very top. Let's go from the very top. Let's learn the left hand. This whole song.
Leaves.
So we're going, So here's we go from A minor. Let's do D7. I'll just do root position for everything. Then C major 7. Here's F sharp minor 7 flat 5. So that is, if you have trouble with this chord, it's okay. Try an F sharp minor 7 first, and then just take the 5th note and bring it down a semitone. Then we'll go to B7. Then E minor. Then it kind of repeats again. A minor to D7. F sharp minor 7 flat 5. And then E minor is at the bottom there. So far, there are 2 different 2-5-1s, right? Let's keep scrolling. They're the same chords, just kind of in a different order now.
Where are
so
we?
now Since You Went Away is where we are. So since you, now I'm starting on F sharp minor 7. So I know that's the 2. Then B7 is the 5. Going to E minor.
Is the 1 of this equation.
Yes. Then we do another 2-5-1 here. A minor 7.
A minor is the 2 of G.
D7.
Wouldn't you know you're traveling
G
to
major
G?
7. Back to F sharp minor 7 flat
2 of
5.
E minor.
This one says that B7 flat 9. If you
Ignore
want
the
to try,
9. Ignore the flat 9.
you can just
It's
play
garbage.
B7. If you do play it, bonus points to you. And then here we have something really cool that happens. E minor 7, E flat dominant 7, D minor 7, D flat dominant 7. That part, I'm not going to jump into too much on how you get there. Those are called tritone substitutions. But this is a really good exercise for, okay, Lisa, you're going to help me out with this.
I am.
You are. There's a puzzle in there. There's one last puzzle, and you're almost at the end.
Here at this part, where?
E minor 7, E flat 7, D minor 7,
This?
D flat 7. So the E flat and the D flat chords. If you were to make these 2-5-1 progressions,
Oh, my brain hurts.
let me help you. Just think about the root for a second. E.
E, which one? The E flat or the E minor?
The E minor. If
Okay.
that's the 2 chord, what would be the 5?
So I have to go back from E to D, A.
A. So instead of E flat 7, put an A7 on top.
What? Here?
Yeah. And then instead of resolving on D, this happens a lot in jazz, they do another 2-5-1. So now D minor 7 is the 2 chord. And so what would be the 5?
G.
G, you got it. Oh, but put it on top of the D flat.
Why is this broken?
So this is a great...
Why is this here?
There you go. Yep. There it is.
What? There's what?
So now you just made 2-5-2. You made 2-2-5-1 progressions just like that.
Where?
E minor to A7 to D minor
What?
to G7, and look at where you landed. C major 7. You just did like a 2-5-2-5-1.
This is a sorcery, and it's
It is a sorcery.
ridiculous.
This is the mathematical part of analyzing music and figuring out how it all works. So we went from E minor 7. You can play the E flat. That sounds really cool. D minor 7.
I feel like I was tricked into
D
doing this,
flat.
Megan. I feel like you can say congratulations, but I was fully tricked into figuring this out.
At the very end, you have C major 7, and then you can just play B dominant 7, which is the 5 going to E. And if you really wanted
Which is
to,
the key we're in.
and one last thing, that last line, Lisa.
No.
Instead of C, Make it 2-5-1. What is it going to be?
Oh, see, a 2-5-1 of what?
Going to E minor. That's the end of the song.
Going to E minor?
You got it.
E minor's the 1?
E minor's the
now
1.
You're making me make a minor 2-5-1?
But it was almost there. The 5 existed, but instead of C, what could you play then? This is bonus. So this is
a B?
So B is the
Wait, what?
Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to the iPad first.
Now see that you're doing it now too.
No, I'm messing
Wrecking
things up.
Okay, you have
this C chord. Oh my goodness.
Where? Okay, hold on. Okay, this C chord here.
The C chord at the bottom.
Yeah. What am I doing with this?
You're gonna make that a 2 chord. So, what would it be? In E minor, F sharp. And remember, what is the 2 chord have to be?
Oh, minor 7 flat 5.
Yes. So there is the secret sauce. There is the puzzle piece that was missing.
This hurts me.
That is amazing. And so when I'm looking at music, those are the kind of things that I'm thinking about, like, oh, what chords could I swap out for, this would sound really good here. So people always ask me, how did you get an F sharp minor 7 when the chord says C major 7? And I go, it's because I foresaw that it could be a 2-5-1. So this is advanced, but let me show you how I got good at this, because it didn't happen overnight.
Take this back to Easy Town.
When I first started learning the piano,
Day 5.
Day 5.
Only day 5.
My first jazz piano lesson, I worked on this exercise for probably about 3 months, and I only did this. And I know Allison's been working on this. I made it as a chord progression of the week a long time ago, but I'm going to show you guys again because it is so important and one of the most important things I've ever learned in piano. I think Jesus Molina even touches on it in his course as well, inside the Pianote members area. Erskine tells you, so if Jesus is telling you, if Erskine's telling you, and now I'm telling you,
Allison's telling you
it's working, then, and Allison has an awesome cheat sheet, by the way, in the forums, and the Pianote forums as well. So, but let me show you what to do.
Easy Town.
Easy Town. You've learned the 2-5-1, but now we're gonna play it. I can't wait to see Lisa's face explode. We're gonna play it in every single key. It's a lot easier than it sounds though.
Let's see it.
Okay, let's go to the piano. So this is gonna be our chord progressions of the week, because we have 2 of them. Actually, technically there's kind of like 4, but I'll get into that.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna start really high up on the piano. Weekly chord progression. Pop, 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 pop.
Boom.
Okay, let's jump to the piano. This is really exciting. This is super, super exciting. Let's start on a 2-5-1 going to C. So, D minor 7, and all I'm gonna do is go to G7. So, to get to G7, you wanna learn this pattern. You're gonna go to G7 second inversion, like this, D, F, G, and B. And all I did was I moved my middle finger a full tone and my top finger a semitone. And you'll do that on every single key. Once you're on the 5, these 2 notes, same thing. This bottom one goes down a full step, and this one goes down a half step. And you get to C major 7.
Okay.
So let me show you one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm gonna make this into another 2-5-1, but now I'm gonna go to C minor 7. Now if I do that same trick, this one goes down a full step, right here to F. This one goes down a half step. Now I'm at F7, and now I do the same thing with these 2. C goes down 2 semitones, E flat goes down 1 semitone. I just played a 2-5-1 into the key of B flat major 7, so it sounds like this. And if I do that again, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major 7, A flat minor 7, D flat 7, F sharp major 7.
It does sound kind of pretty. I'll give you that, Kip.
And then you go again, E minor 7, A7, D major. I'm doing that same formula over and over again, and I get to where I started. If you did it right, you should land exactly where you started. But there's 2 kind of sequences. You can start on D minor, but if you start on like E flat minor 7, it gives you a totally different set of 2-5-1s.
Kevin.
You got it.
Kevin, can
Yes.
You're gonna have to put this in Sound Slice for us. I think this is gonna have to be a quick tip.
It already is in Sound Slice.
What?
I transcribed all these things
Been
for
here, done
Jesus'
this?
course. Not the minor ones though. So if you want to try the minor one, but if anyone wants to try this minor one, let me show you. You don't have to. This is bonus, but I think it's very important. minor 2-5-1s are just as important as major 2-5-1s. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna apologize if this is going a little over your head, but just know you can always come back to this. Is she gonna pour water on me right now?
Not yet.
Am I getting cut off? I know I'm deep in the rabbit hole, but I might as well make some, I don't know what the analogy I'm looking for is. What do rabbits make in rabbit holes? More holes? Okay. Back to the 2-5-1. Okay.
Oh,
Overhead,
no.
please, maestro. Okay. Here's what the 2-5-1 sounds like. But if you want to make it a fancy one like I like to do, I like to go from half diminished here, D minor 7 flat 5. And all I have to do, this one's actually easier to play. Because from here, you just take the top note, bring it down to semitone, and then go to a minor 7 chord. Just like that. So Allison, this can be the new one you can try. One more time. And now I make C minor 7 flat 5. And you just keep going like that the whole time. And you can do that for both cycles. It's the same thing over and over again. And you just do that over. And I'll tell you this, Lisa. I practiced this for like 3 months until I actually understood it and could do it properly. I did not get this overnight.
Okay.
But this is an essential step if you want to learn jazz, if you want to get good at jazz, because again, jazz is more difficult than pop music. It's more, I'm not going to say it's more difficult than classical. I don't think it is.
This is
but
different.
It's different. They're two different monsters.
Yeah.
But if you can memorize those, so for example, if you ask me to play any 2-5-1, I can play it for you like that. Like, give me a key.
F sharp minor.
F sharp minor, so that sounds like this.
D
And
major.
I can just, D major. D major sounds like this.
So Ed's asking, is most jazz written in 2-5-1 or does it have 2-5-1?
Most jazz standards, at least,
Yep.
are written with 2-5-1s kind of built in. And it's not always, like sometimes they'll throw other chords in there.
Okay.
But like there's a standard called All the Things You Are. And it does 2-5-1s into all these different keys. And it's a really crazy way of kind of writing music like that. So sometimes, when you see like the jazz snobs and they're going, oh, like that was really cool, that was a cool chord. It's because they're starting to hear those different 2-5-1s in the actual music. So they're listening with like a different set of ears, like, oh, there was a cool chord. Oh, they did a 2-5-1 there. And then the next step after that is something called tritone substitutions.
Nope.
Which we're not going to get into, but...
Favor's asking, can a 2-5-1 be done when resolving to any chord?
Yes, you can resolve to any single chord, either by using a minor 2-5-1 progression or a major 2-5-1 progression.
It may not always be like the sound that you're after, but it's possible.
Yes, that's the thing.
And Lee from Toronto, I don't understand why the 2 major chord is the 1 chord in this 2-5-1 when the 1 should be the 1. Okay, that's the trickiest thing about the 2-5-1. It's like, you're using it to break the rules of the key that you're in for a little while. So rather than thinking about like what the 1 is in like relationship to the key signature the song is in, it's like you could pick any chord. You could go to this song and just be like G major. And then you could use a 2-5-1 to get there. And then
Yes.
you'd go A minor, G, A, B, C, D, G.
Yeah, whatever the destination chord is, you're thinking about that as your 1 chord.
And you, as the musician, get to make those decisions. You get to decide when you want to try a 2-5-1. So if you're like, I want to try a 2-5-1 here. I want to try a 2-5-1 here. You could easily take Autumn Leaves and just be like, A minor, the falling leaves, A minor, the autumn leaves, F sharp minor.
You got it.
You could take all of the stuff in between out. How would that sound?
If I just played...
You just get A minor and you just get F sharp minor. You just have to go here. The falling leaves. Oh, no, I lied. Then you can have the G, and then you can have the F sharp.
Right.
You have to take the extras out. It would be boring. Falling leaves drift by my windows. The autumn leaves are red and gold. But adding those little 5s into there, it's so pretty. So if you were like, ooh, If you just kind of want to get used to this on a very basic level, take the first 2 lines of Autumn Leaves. If you're a Pianote member, if you're in the membership and you're in this lesson, you can just scroll down because we have Autumn Leaves transcribed for you with these chord transitions. So I would say start there, just play the first 2 lines of Autumn Leaves, play those 2-5-1 chords in your left hand, and then play the melody in your right hand. The first time I did this, I was like, oh, I'm playing jazz. I didn't even know it because those chords naturally sound so jazzy, and when you figure out how to play those 7ths, it's so fun. So do that and then get a little taste. And then if you're like, okay, that was good, I want to know a little bit more, go back and rewatch this or try that 2-5-1 exercise you can find inside Jesus Molina's course. It'll make a really big difference.
Yes. I should also add a disclaimer. Before you start experimenting in the world of 2-5-1s, you need to know your diatonic chords so well.
Yeah.
Like you need to have a foundation before you just dive into jazz land. Otherwise, it's kind of like throwing someone into the middle of the ocean without swimming lessons. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? At least if you have that foundation, it's like you have your little like speedboat. You're like, okay, and you have like a life jacket, your little, what are those tubes called? I don't know, the
lifesaver.
Yeah, at least you have your supplies that you need. You have your foundation. You have what you need to get back to shore. Otherwise, it's just like you're drowning in an ocean if you don't know what you're doing and you try to just jump into jazz. So.
But for some of for me anyways, you'd never convince me to go swimming in this water unless you were like, here, like, play this Autumn Leaves, and that kind of is like getting your toes wet. It's like, oh, actually, maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty.
I would say if before kind of jumping into like actually trying to really learn jazz, you'd probably have to be about like method like 7 or method 8 before really jumping into jazz. That's the level you want to be aiming for and striving for. And you can always, practice this stuff beforehand before you get there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the area that by the time you're at method 7 and 8, like you know how to sight read, you know your major chords, your minor chords, how to practice arpeggio, stuff like that. So it kind of has you primed and ready to learn different genres of music.
Yeah, absolutely. No crying if you're only on level 2. That's a perfect place to start. This will inspire you and keep you motivated.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I want to suggest that we mention our Student of the Week.
Yes, I also think we should. All right, so for this week, our Student of the Week has actually been listening to our piano show, the Piano Bench, and there was something we talked about a long time ago, which was like it was just like a really small moment. It was a passing, like how to make a diminished chord modulate keys, and it was like a very complex thing, and he actually took this, worked on this technique for a long time, and implemented it into one of his songs, and he recorded a portion of it today so that we could share on our channel. So our Student of the Week this week is none other than Pasi Heiskanen.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Congratulations.
So good, Pasi, that's amazing.
Pasi also told me to let you know that he sent me the sheet music for that. So if anyone wants to learn that song, feel free to email me at kevin@pianote.com and I'll send you a copy of his arrangement of that song.
Pasi's so cool.
Pasi's the coolest.
So cool. Okay, friends, we've got a couple of questions. Just wanted to let you all know next week we're going to be talking a little bit about seventh chords, not so much in the context of jazz, but like maybe if some of you were going like, hey, 2-5-1's great, but my hands don't do sevenths yet. We're going to take a very, very simple process. I'm going to show you my secrets to playing seventh chords. Seventh chords?
Yeah, seventh chords.
I can't even say it. And then we're gonna put some of those together and it'll be super, super, super fun. So you can look forward to that for next week. I know, we were just looking at that, Tim, I was like, oh, shoot, we probably should have taught seventh chords before we tried to get them playing 2-5-1s, but that's okay, we'll backtrack and then it'll all come together and it'll be absolutely beautiful and I'm very excited. So I just have to say too, like seventh chords were really hard for me to wrap my brain around, but I've got it, so I'm gonna share with you how and why it works in my head. So that's for next week, but in the meantime, we have a couple of questions that trickled in. George was asking about archive old notifications in our in the members area, because sometimes you get notifications and it can be hard to track to know which one's what. I don't know if there's an archive feature. I think there's a clear option, George. But if you're wanting to dive into that, you could email support@pianote.com and they can help you with your account settings, absolutely. And in terms of a Bluetooth transmitter, this one's also from George, that will work with a guitar amp or a Yamaha keyboard. Right now, they're getting delayed sounds. Do you have any Bluetooth transmitters that you've used or recommend?
Yeah, the thing is with Bluetooth, sometimes there is like that little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're using. I like to just plug in straight into like, at least with my piano and stuff.
That's best if you can do that.
Yeah, because sometimes you play something. I have like a couple like Bluetooth keyboards where I played and it takes a second.
Yeah.
So I like to plug straight in, but I don't know which Bluetooth ones would be the best.
No, I haven't played much with those either. And Dan was asking in relation to the 2-5-1, is the 5 using the harmonic minor scale?
That is correct. That's where the chord comes from. If someone was paying attention last week's diatonic chord lesson.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. That is correct, Dan. Oh, who's that, Dan?
Yeah.
Gold star for Dan.
Gold star for Dan. I wish we could give out real stickers.
I know, just a sticker of pop-ups.
If we can get that functionality, I will be the very happiest person in the world. I'll be even happier than I am now, which is pretty happy. Okay, guys. I want to do a song. Can we do a jazz song that has 2-5-1s? I have a microphone and I know how to use it.
What jazz song do you want to do?
I don't know. Say some jazz songs out loud. Fly Me to the Moon's always good. We do that one a lot. I know that song.
You know Misty, or do you know?
No. I don't.
Do you know, tell me what songs like you
I don't even know. Guys, put jazz songs in the chat. I don't even know.
Here, Truman, can you toss me my cellular there?
Ooh.
Ah! Thank you very much. Here, let me list off a bunch of jazz songs for you.
Okay.
And then see if you recognize any of these.
Okay.
Or do you know like At Last?
I need to practice it. I'm always nervous about that one. I do know
any
it.
of these? Autumn Leaves, Blue Skies, Summertime,
Oh dear.
Georgia on My Mind.
I feel like I should probably. I know I Can't Make You Let Me. That's not jazz.
No, not all these are jazz.
I know Moon River.
You know Moon River? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's try that. Let me find out what key.
Let's find a key. Yeah. Kevin, I'm very upset that we haven't worked on my jazz standard repertoire. I'm just looking at your chords to see if I can see a 2-5-1. G, F, no. Oh, there's a 2-5-1 in here.
How's this key?
Moon River, wider than a mile. Yeah. I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heart breaker, wherever same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay. Oh. My love. Was that what you were just doing?
No, I was just vamping.
We
while
have
he
to
talked.
go to a very upbeat version of either What a Wonderful World or Fly Me to the Moon, because Moon River is way too magical to end this on.
Okay.
It's too emotional.
An upbeat version of What a Wonderful World?
Yeah.
This key will probably be good for you. How upbeat do you want to do it?
Like the most.
Like the most.
Like super fun. Oh, that's really fun. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Okay, you have to solo this part, but Latin. Brat. This is why you have to learn your theory, friends. Hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful Okay.
Probably played like
12 styles.
22-5-1 progressions.
20 of them in 12 styles.
In 12
I hope this inspires you, friends, because, like, yes, it can be a lot. There can be so much to think about and learn. I agree. But the result of that is this and the ability to understand genres and chord changes and the nuances. So I hope you're inspired. A little bit of overwhelm and pushing is good. It's good for the mind. So inside the Pianote members area, use the Autumn Leaves lead sheet. This is your homework. This is your chord progression of the week. If you are not a Pianote member and you're joining us on YouTube, Truman's gonna throw the 7-day trial link right back in the chat for you. Just click on it. Go sign up for the 7-day trial. It doesn't cost you anything. Then you can go explore around inside Pianote, see that really sweet new release, 4 songs that are perfect for beginners, and be able to catch the sheet music resources for this lesson too. So, happy playing. If you have questions about what we talked about today, kevin@pianote.com. Next week, we're going through 7th chords, beginner shapes, I promise. I'll show you my secrets, and we'll have a ton of fun. So, we'll see you there. Goodbye.